Hello 7th class, a very good morning to all of you. In our previous classes we were talking about lines and angles. In our previous class we talked about the transversal line and the transversal line of two parallel lines. We talked about some properties also. We are going to repeat them again and then we are moving onwards with our exercise 6.2. So first property was if a transversal cuts two parallel lines, then their corresponding angles are equal. Second property was if a transversal cuts two parallel lines, then the alternate interior angles are equal. And third property is if a transversal cuts two parallel lines. Parallel line is important. If these lines are not parallel, then the angles may or may not be equal. But if the transversal is cutting two parallel lines, then their alternate interior angles have to be equal lines. Then the interior angles on the same side of transversal are supplementary. Whenever we are using these properties in our questions, we have to write these properties in full, that why the angles are equal, why alternate interior angles are equal, or why the interior angles are supplementary. So if you remember, then L and M being parallel lines and N being the transversal of these two lines, this angle, the angles at same placement, these are known as corresponding angles. This angle and this angle, these are corresponding angles. Alternate interior angles are in the interior of these two lines, the angles in between these lines, L and N, interiors mean. But on alternate side, if one is on this side, second is on inside, this side. So this and this are going to be equal. Similarly, this and this angle are going to be equal. And a third property which says that angle on the same side of transversal, interior angles. So we are talking about these angles because interior angles on same side of transversal, this and this. Sum of these is going to be 180, and similarly the sum of these angles is going to be 180 because the interior angles on the same side of transversal are supplementary. And the converse of these properties is also true, which is if a transversal cuts two lines and the corresponding angles are equal, then the lines have to be parallel. If a transversal cuts two lines such that the pairs of corresponding angle pairs of corresponding angles are equal, then the lines, then the two lines, these two lines have to be parallel. Similarly, the second property, if a transversal cuts two lines such that the pairs of alternate interior angles are equal, then the lines have to be parallel. So, second property is, if a transversal cuts two lines such that pairs of alternate interior angles are equal, then the two lines have to be parallel. And the third property was of angles on the interior angles on the same side of transversal. Third is, if a transversal cuts two lines such that angles on same side of transversal are supplementary, then the given lines are parallel. So these are 6 properties which we used in some questions, at least I guess 3 questions in the yesterday class. We will be using in more questions of exercise 5.2. One more thing, that whenever you are using this property, you have to mention that which property you are using, which property out of these 6. So exercise 5.2, question number 4. In question number 4, we have to find out the value of x, and it is given that L is parallel to M. So L is parallel to M. We will draw the figure using pencil. Line should be straight. This is your angle 110 degree and this is your x degree. So we have to find out x. There are many methods of finding this x. First one is, because this angle and this angle is complementary. This angle, not complementary, corresponding. This angle and this angle are corresponding. Then this angle will also be equal to this, because lines are given to be parallel. And this angle and this angle lie on a line, they will form a linear pair, and from there you can find out the value of x. Another method is, this angle is vertically opposite of this. Okay, so you can find out this angle, and after you have found out this angle, you know that if lines are parallel, then angles on alternate interior angles on the same side of transversal are supplementary. So this and this are going to be 180, and from there you can find out value of x. There are other methods also. You can use any method of your own choice. I am going to use the concept of corresponding angles. I am going to name this angle as 1. So as L is parallel to M, angle 1 is going to be equal to 110. Why? I will write my reason, because when a transversal cuts two parallel lines, which is given to us, corresponding angles are equal. Corresponding angles are equal. Okay, so our angle 1 is going to be 110 now. Now angle N. Now angle 1 and angle your X form a linear pair because they lie on line M. Implies your angle 1 plus X is going to be 180. Your angle 1 is 110. X is equal to 180. So your X is going to be 180 minus 110, which is going to be 70 degrees, and this is your answer. Similarly, B part of this, B part, may we have a figure like this. Again, these type of questions have many ways of solving them. Now in this question also, B part, it is given that L is parallel to M, but it is not given that L is parallel to B, not given. So you will not use these properties, these corresponding angles will not be equal, they may or may not be equal, we will not be using them. We will be using this L parallel to M. So angle 100 degree and angle X are going to be which type of angles? They are going to be corresponding angle. So L parallel to M implies your X is going to be 100 degree. Why? Because when a transversal cuts two parallel lines, then the corresponding angles, you will write this down, then the corresponding angles are going to be equal. So this angle is going to be 100 degree. This 80 degree is given, provided so to make you confused. So don't get confused, don't use A parallel to B because it is not given to us. We are provided with only one pair of parallel lines, that is L and M. So we will use the corresponding angles for L made by L and M only. Okay, not by A and B. Forget this angle and you will get to know the angle of X degree. The next question is question number 5. Question number 5. The arms of two angles are parallel. Okay, there are two angles, this and this. Arms are parallel. It means they are going to be two pair of parallel lines, not one, because there are two arms. This point is G, this point is C, and this point is E, and this is your F. This angle is your 70 degree. Arms, angle ABC is provided with this, and arms of two angles are equal. This is given to us. As this implies your AB is parallel to ED and ED, okay, not ED, we need BC. BC is parallel to EF. Now we are going to use these two pair of parallel lines. We will use first this pair. As AB is parallel to ED, implies AB is going to be parallel to, if a line is parallel to another line, then that line will be parallel to the part of another line. So if it is parallel to ED, it is also going to be parallel to GD. And if this line is parallel to this line, so this angle which is DGC implies angle DGC, or you don't need that, you can write this directly. Angle DGC is going to be 70 degree because corresponding angles are equal. Okay. Next is we have to find out, this is 70 degree now. Next we have to find out this angle which is DEF. Now if we have to use another second pair of parallel lines, B and C. Now BC is parallel to EF. This is parallel to this. It means this angle and this angle are going to be equal. This angle is going to be equal to this. Why? Again corresponding angles. So here DEF is going to be equal to DGC because corresponding angles are given and lines are given to us as parallels. Corresponding angles are equal. Lines already given to us, they are parallel. So angle DEF is equal to DGC, which was 70 degree. So it is going to be, I am writing here, your DEF is going to be 70 degree. Okay. Now we have calculated both the angles, this and this. We had to find out these two. Now we can move on to question number 6. Question number 6, we have to decide whether the given pair of lines are parallel or not. So we will use the last three properties. We will check the corresponding angles. We will check alternate interior angles if they are equal or not. And third condition, we can also check that whether the interior angles on the same side of lines are supplementary, transversal line is supplementary. If it is so, then it means the lines are going to be parallel, otherwise they are going to be non-parallel lines. So question number 6, part 1. Figure is like this. Don't assume that your lines are parallel just because they look like parallel. These lines look like parallel lines. So don't just assume that they are going to be parallel. You have to prove them. So now angle this and this. We have to name them. So we are going to name them. This is angle 1 and this is going to be angle 2. I am not writing their measure, I am writing their name. Now angle 1 is equal to 126. This is given to us. What is given to us? This. And angle 2 is given as 44. Now angle 1 and angle 2 are on the interior angles and they lie on the same side of transversal. So angle 1 plus 2, we will check what is their sum. It is going to be 126 plus 44, which is 170 degree. So in interior angles on the same side of transversal, are they supplementary? No. Are not supplementary. If they are not supplementary, implies line L is not parallel to line M. Okay. If the sum has come out to be 180 degree, then we could safely say that the lines are parallel. They look parallel but they are not parallel. Next one is sometimes the parallel lines are given as horizontal, sometimes they are given as vertical. Whatever the case may be, we just need to see the corresponding angles where are corresponding, which are interior, which are alternate interior. So this is 75 and this is also 75. Now we can do comparison using corresponding angles or alternate interior angles. We are going to use corresponding angle comparison. So angle 1, this is going to be line L and this is going to be line L. Now M is transversal to lines L and M. This is true. Now angle 1 plus 75 degree is going to be 180 degree because of linear pair. They lie on the line, so the sum of measure of their angles should be equal to 180. Now angle 1 will be equal to 180 minus 75, which is going to be equal to 105 degree. So this angle is 105. Now angle 1 and 75 degree are corresponding angle, are pairs of corresponding angles. They are not the only corresponding angles, we have 3 other pairs also, are pairs of corresponding angles, implies but they are corresponding angle, but angle 1 is not equal to 75, it is equal to 105, implies lines L and M are not parallel. Why? Because pair of corresponding angles are not equal. Had they been equal, lines would have been parallel. So third part is this figure L, M and N. This is 57, this is 1, 2, 3. Again we are going to use linear pair and corresponding angles. We are going to use this angle. So suppose this is angle 1, okay? Angle 1. So now N is transversal to lines L and M. Alright. Also angle 1 and 123 degree, angle 123 lies on line M, implies sum of their measure have to be 180 degree. Reason being they form a linear pair, or you can say they lie on a line. Implies your angle 1 is going to be 180 minus 23, which is going to be 7 and 5, 57 degree. Now this angle is 57 degree and this angle is also 57 degree. These are corresponding angles and they are equal. Now suppose this is angle 2. Okay, this is angle 2. Now angle 1 and angle 2 are corresponding angles. And angle 1 is equal to 2 and they are equal. Both are equal to 57 degree. It means the lines have to be parallel. Implies L is parallel to M, and we will give the reason also. If a transversal, the reason we will write here, reason will be if a transversal cuts two lines such that pair of corresponding angles are equal, then their lines have to be parallel. So these lines will be parallel. you can have to notice one thing, that we are checking only about one pair. If one pair is equal, second pair is going to be automatically equal because they form a linear pair, and similarly others pair are going to be equal. We just checking of one corresponding pair will suffice for checking the all pairs of corresponding angles. Fourth is question number 6, fourth part. This is a figure like this. LMN 90 LMN 9872. These are the angles. What we will do, we will write angle numbers instead of these, angle 1, angle 2, and I will need this angle, so I will going to name them as this as angle 3. Now given is angle 1 is equal to 98, angle 2 is equal to 72. Okay. Now angle 1 and angle 3 lies on line L, implies their sum has to be 180 because they form a linear pair. Angle 1 is given to us as 98, implies our angle 3 is going to be 180 minus 98, which is going to be equal to 82 degrees. Now our angle 3 is 82 degrees and angle 2 and 3 are corresponding angle because of their placement. Now angle 3 and angle 2 are corresponding angles, right? They are corresponding angles, I am writing here, and angle 2 is not equal to 3, implies line L and M, lines L and M are not parallel. Had they been equal, angle 3 and 2 as equal, the lines would have been parallel, but this angle is equal to 82 and the angle given to us, angle 2, is going to given us as 72 degrees, which are not equal in measure. Now with this we have completed the chapter. Next is we have what have we discussed. In that we have been provided with some definitions like this: pairs of angles and conditions, like which we have discussed already. The two complementary angles, they measure up to 90 degree, supplementary angles 180 degree, adjacent angles have a common vertex, common arm but no common interior, or you can say that non-common arms lie on the opposite side of common arm. Linear pair, they are adjacent and supplementary. Next we have is vertically opposite angles. We have talked about vertically opposite angles, they are going to be equal. And the type of angles: interior, exterior corresponding, alternate exterior, alternate interior, interior on same side of transversal. This was the your chapter number 5. Next we are going to talk about the triangles and the properties of triangles. You already know that on the basis of the measurement of sides, we have three types of triangles, that is scalene triangle, in which all sides are different. Then second is isosceles triangle in which two sides are equal, and third is in which all sides are equal, and this is your equilateral triangle. On basis of angles, we have again three types of triangle. If all angles are less than 90 degree, they are going to be acute angle triangle. If one angle is right angle, then it is going to be right angle triangle. And if one angle out of three is going to be obtuse, then the triangle will be called as obtuse angle triangle. So with this, we are going to end the chapter, end the lecture for today. Tomorrow we are going to start with chapter number 6. Have a nice day.